This day, they went for a hike. The beautiful weather and scenery suddenly turned into a nightmare when Danny fell off a cliff and broke his back and his ankle. Even with cell phones, an army of rescuers couldn't find them. Hunter took care of his friend for 5 hours in the dark until help arrived at midnight.
And we started climbing up the rock. I got up to about here, and he got around here. And so now he's really stuck on this cliff. And he got up there, and the rock gave way. And I was down low trying to figure out my handholds when I started hearing rocks rolling down. And so, all I could do was get really close up against the rock. And I looked up to, avoid rocks that were coming down. All of a sudden, I see Danny come with the rocks over the summit above me. And he's probably about 50 feet up right there. There's nothing I can do but watch him. He slid and gained momentum, and when he hit that ledge, he flew out and went away from the cliffside, so he couldn't even grab onto anything. And I had to watch him from right here and watch him fall back that way. And it was extremely dreamlike. All of it didn't seem real because it was something so profound and different from what you'd ever see at any point in your life. He hit the ground, and he hit so hard that he literally bounced when he hit the ground. And I saw a shoe go flying, and he started rolling down this cliff, and I was just completely in shock. And he rolled a bit and then stopped, and he didn't move, and he didn't say anything. And I was wondering if he was alive. And that hillside eventually lets out to another cliff. And he had rolled to where there was a tree that stopped him from rolling any further, and it was God sent. And all I realized was that I really had to do something, and most importantly, I couldn't fall myself. I down climbed super fast. Then as I hit the ground and started coming up to him, he let out this moan, and it was just like, "Ugh." And it was a scary, scary sound, but it was also really nice to hear him make a noise. I called 911 and tried to stay as calm as I could, and I said, my friend just fell off a cliff, and we need help here, because I think he probably broke his back, definitely broke his ankle. He has a lot of cuts, and I'm taking care of him for now, but it's going to get dark soon. One of the things she said first was that she was going to send up people to hike up to us, and I tried to make it clear as quick as I could that there were no people that were going to get to us, because you have to be able to find the right breaks in the mountain, and it wasn't going to happen. So I told her almost immediately that we needed a helicopter, which is stressful to say, hey, can I get a helicopter? You don't do that every day. And she said that they had to get ground people to us first. So he had cuts everywhere because there was these sharp rocks at the bottom, and they cut into him really bad. He had blood on his face.
They told me that my back was broken, and my foot was just completely gashed open. The heel was gone.
I knew he was going to go into shock, and I also knew he probably had a back injury, which I couldn't have him move because of that, which was also, I was quickly realizing I wasn't going to be able to carry him out or anything along those lines. It was getting dark, and all these lights started coming up in this way lower field, and it was all these fire trucks, ambulances. I think they got 50 mountain rescue people. They were all volunteers, which is amazing. They all came there, and they started, getting into groups and hiking throughout the place. And I had started a signal fire. I had made a torch, with fire that I could wave. I had my flashlight. I had given all my clothes to Danny for when he was in shock, because he was really, really cold, especially when we got later. And it wasn't until 12 o'clock that anyone came to us at all, because they couldn't do it. We had people get kind of close to us to where I could yell and talk with them, and they'd say they were getting close, and they'd be there soon, and then they'd just disappear. And it's really horrible because I can't leave Danny at all. I did the best I could, and I tried to tell the lady on the phone, there's people close, but they keep leaving, and I could listen to their voices yelling as they disappeared. And there's nothing you could do about it. I kept doing SOS on my whistle and stuff, and they'd blow back, you know, and it'd get closer, closer, and they'd like disappear. They never got to us on the ground. 50 people on the mountain couldn't get us. So the first person that came to us, his name was Tyler, and he came out of the sky. He rappelled out of a helicopter down to us. He came down, and he like came down through tree branches and stuff and landed on a really precarious, you know, area, and then he had to unhook so the helicopter wouldn't drag him around. So he pretty much just told me it's me and him, and it's all or nothing. And he said they're going to lower down a stretcher. We're going to have to load him up onto it, haul him up to the base of the cliff again, then hook up him and lift him safely into this huge helicopter that's sending down 90-mile-per-hour winds, turning the trees sideways. Branches were flying past and it was destroying everything. And I like had to like cover Danny with myself because he couldn't like do anything to shield himself. And like there were rocks flying from the wind. It was crazy. Anyways, we got him to the base of the cliff, and then we hooked him up and lifted him up into the helicopter. So I have to do this to go and get lifted 200 feet into this helicopter. Next thing I know, we're flying toward the hospital.
At that cliffside, my back was just killing me. Hunter really, you know, he was my guardian angel, I think. At that point, I mean, I probably wouldn't have never made it to the hospital if it weren't for him.